Have you ever had one of those days where your back hurts and you feel that maybe I should just stay in the bed? I've done that. I have many times just stayed in the bed and just kept resting. But what I have observed is the more I rested, the more my back became stiffer and the more painful it became. And soon the next day also becomes painful. I realized something that completely changed how I see ankylosing spondylitis. Sometimes too much rest becomes part of the problem. Hi, my name is Prashant. I am a egoscue specialist, a pranic healer, and a meditation teacher, as well as a hypnotherapist who happens to also have ankylosing spondylitis. And I'm 50 years old and I help people coach with problems of ankylosing spondylitis. So today let me talk about two types of rest that we have. One which helps you to recover and another which stops your mobility. For many years I used to feel that when the back hurts, let's cancel our walk, let's avoid exercising, and I used to spend hours on the couch. I wasn't lazy, I was just trying to protect myself that I should not move much, otherwise my pain will return. Getting up became harder, walking became harder, and my posture also worsened, and I developed a stoop, and everything became very, very tight. That is why we need to understand what is the difference between resting to recover and resting which makes you stiff. Now let us understand why do we become stiff when we are resting too much. Now ankylosing spondylitis is an inflammatory disease. So when you stop moving for long periods, your joints become stiffer, your muscles will become tight, and your hip flexors will lose their mobility, your spine loses your mobility, the blood circulation, it slows down. So even your brain becomes more protective and it tells you to avoid any painful movements. So think about a door, okay, which has rust on its hinge. Okay, now a rusty door, if you don't move it every day, it becomes very, very tight, okay, and on the day when you will try to move it, it will just not move, and even the hinge might break. So our joints are surprisingly like these doors, okay. So we need to do small functional movements every day to keep the mobility alive. So mobility is like oil for stiff joints. You should not do any aggressive movements, just gentle regular movement. One mistake that I see over and over is what I call boom and bust cycle. A flare starts and you suddenly rest for days. You will not feel like doing anything and you will be afraid to move, and then one day your pain reduces and suddenly you would want to do everything. You will do cleaning, shopping, exercise, gardening, and again the pain would return, and this cycle repeats, and you will start feeling that I am weak. Okay, it's not that you are weak, it's just that you have not understood the pain and recovery cycle. And also you don't understand that the body should be worked out in an optimal way. It should not be worked out in extremes, that you suddenly take bed rest and you are suddenly just doing everything. So what should be done instead? Instead of this, you should try to optimally take care of having an active recovery. So when pain is high, instead of staying in bed all day, try gentle movement. When I say gentle movement, the best way of movement is by doing egoscue. Now you can do egoscue by sitting, okay, so you can do it on the couch, you can do it on the chair. So there are sitting postures that you can do. You can do egoscue while sleeping, okay, in sleeping posture, on sideways, on your back. You can do egoscue even while standing. So whatever makes you feel comfortable. If standing is comfortable, do it in that posture. In addition to that, do simple exercises, simple stretches, and some breathing exercises, some light stretching, changing positions regularly. So if you are sitting, don't sit for too long, move around the house, go and have a glass of water, go to the toilet, call up your friend, talk around and move around the house, take a break. Basically, if you're taking a nap in the afternoon, then don't keep napping for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. No, just take a 45 minutes nap, then get up, go and have some tea. So keep changing positions. Sometimes standing up even 30 to every 20-30 minutes is a very, very good way, and it makes a huge difference. So you're reminding your body that movement is safe. It is safe to move. I can move around, there is no problem. And over time, your body starts to trust yourself even when you have pain. One of the biggest lessons I've learned after living with ankylosing spondylitis for past 30 years is that don't wait until you start feeling better to start moving. Just start moving bit by bit in your safe zone and you will start to feel better. So there is a huge difference in the way we think about recovery, in the way we think about rest. You have to rest actively, not rest permanently. And this should be done every single day. I'd love to hear from you. I would like to understand, when you are having a flare, what sort of rest do you do? Do you stay in the bed most of the day, or do you keep moving gently? Let me know in the comments. If this video has helped you understand what is pain and how resting helps you to recover, then please subscribe to this channel. I share practical advice, real life stories, exercises that can help you to overcome ankylosing spondylitis pain and helps you to move better, feel better, and stay happy and build a meaningful life despite chronic pain. So till our next video, keep putting that effort, live with passion.